Hey, just putting out there that they tried to fuck me up and suppress me and drug me for years. You know, there was nothing wrong with me. My mom tried to change me. It's like she couldn't stand that I was myself. And she wanted to, like, fundamentally, like, transmogrify my soul. I was a happy kid. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I was fine. It's all good. It was wild, man. I can't believe I dealt with that shit. Can't fucking believe it at all. I think my mom just didn't like my temperament as a person. So every time I was happy, she would get upset. It's crazy. 30 years of that shit really fucks you up. And she still tries to say, like, you have bipolar disorder, you're manic depressive, you're this, you're that. You have borderline personality disorder. I don't have any of those things. None of those things. I don't think I do. Like, I've literally been to a professional, and they're like, I don't think you have anything. It's just you had people shitty in your life that try to fuck you up. And it's fucking crazy because I see what they're doing with, like, RFK Jr. and, like, Tulsi Gabbard and all these people, and it's like, I feel like that. And you say, well, that's schizophrenia. It's like, no. It's people, like, you have someone in your life that is constantly trying to psych you out and dominate you and like get you to doubt yourself and be small and, like, do whatever they say. It's the most insane thing. It's just they like psychologically figure out how to fuck you up and then just try to destroy you. It's the craziest fucking shit. And, like, when you're in it, when it's happening to you, you're going nuts. And then they like use everything available to them to try to fuck you up. It's the craziest fucking thing. But I saw, like, my story, what happened to me, kind of play out with Trump. Fucking nuts. And the ironic part is that my mom is a Trump supporter, but she tries to do the same shit to me. Like, she is convinced that, like a proper person is, like, really calm, very calm. I know, I just do my work, and that's it. Like, she's convinced, but, like, I'm a wild child, I'm a fucking artist. I like to fuck around and get crazy on stage. It's fun for me. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. That's just my personality. But she's like, she's convinced, like, you have a disorder. There's something wrong with you. The devil's in you. Like, it's some crazy fucking shit. And it's, you think it's funny, but, like, she would, like, it seemed like she tried to, like, convince people that that was the case, which fucked up my life. Really fucked up my life. I, like, not no more. Not letting your shit get to me anymore. I'm doing what I want. I'm going for my dreams. And I'm not stopping for fucking anybody. Nobody. There's just nothing wrong with that. If it makes me happy, what's the problem? Seriously. I'm going to be absolutely delusional about it. And go after my dreams. I don't fucking care. As what is necessary. It's not necessary for a kid to have some sort of parent that tries to, like, get into your head. Stick their fingers in and, like, warp you. That's just evil. It's just narcissism. That's what it is. It's fucking crazy. It is the craziest shit. It has been driving me nuts for 30 years. And the thing is like they do that, and then like their voice is in your head, right? But I don't care. I'm facing my fears. She can't do anything to me anymore. She can go ahead and call the police. I don't fucking care. Because she doesn't actually love you. That's her thing. She wants to control you. And she started from a very young age by screaming at me. And like getting like in my face like that. You know. I have some nice memories of her, yeah. But I don't know. She just makes you doubt everything. And she makes you feel like you're going crazy. And it's like you're like you can't. That doesn't make any sense. You know, like to feel like you are going insane around one of your parents. Like you should be at peace around your parents. You should feel happy. You should feel calm and like you're safe. Not like, you know, scared or something. Fundamentally. And that like that low level anxiety will just destroy you over time. Because it's just like cortisol. You know? What the fuck? Stop. But she is like relentless in trying to like attack you. I don't know, man. I'm just like not listening to her anymore. It's not gonna happen. I just don't care. And then she'll use it like, yeah, I know you don't care. I know you don't care about anything. You don't care about me. You care about nothing. And it's like, no. It's like I'm going to do what I have to do to achieve the life that I want. And I know what to do. You know, I feel like the answers have revealed themselves to me, right? And no, this isn't crazy talk. I've been researching this for years. You know, like traveled the world. I went to a school. You know, seeing other people do it, like trying to figure this out. I know what to do. I've tried all this stuff. And, yeah. But, like, to her, she's always like, how are you going to do it, huh? How are you going to do it? Like she's like, and she takes advantage of like that sort of like doubt that you might have, and she's like, see, you can't do anything, you have to listen to me, you have to do what I say, like all this fucking crazy shit. She's literally like a cartoon character villain. It's fucking nuts. And I think she prides herself on like having an excessive amount of control over the people that she deems as hers, right? So that's her husband, her son, and her daughter. The whole thing is like, I control you. Like, you are mine. You're my possession. Don't you understand, you piece of shit? You're nothing, you know? That's how she is. It's just fucking, it's crazy. That's not how anything works. Like, not even with kids. Like, people think, oh, I have the right to be cruel to my kids. You don't have the right to be cruel to your kids. You don't have the right to be cruel to anybody. There is no reason to be cruel. None. You know, it's not, and that doesn't mean like, oh, you should just let kids do whatever they want. It's like, no, you idiot. You just be fucking nice to them. Like it comes from a place of love, right? Where you truly like them there. But like, I think like it's with some people, it's like it's a contortion where it's like, I'm gonna fucking destroy you if you don't do what I want, to like this kind of crazy shit. It's fucking nuts. I remember being like really young and like being on the receiving end of that. Like my mom was just like, like this crazy like evilness. And I think that's what like really turned me, you know, that really like fucked me up. It's set at the core, which maybe that was her goal. It was like, I want him to know that he cannot fuck with me. And it's like, I am a child. What am I gonna do to you? You know, that's the illness, right? It's like you motherfucker, and it's like, dude, I am like 4. Like, holy shit. And you know, what's ridiculous is like you can say like, you know, well, you were kind of difficult to deal with or something. Like my dad will say that to me, and I don't know if that's the case. I really don't, because I watched my dad, and my dad gets so easily frustrated with like everything. Just like he will like drop a piece of paper on the ground and be like, fuck, shit, like kind of thing. And it's like, what? What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You just dropped something. It's fine. It's not the end of the world, dude. But I think he gets a lot of frustration, maybe because you know, my mom is not a very good person, and she aggravates him all the time. That's what she does. She pushes buttons. She likes doing it. Like, she's not, like, she can't like sit there and be calm. She doesn't want to do it. Like, and so she like, in her mind, she has to like keep poking and poking and poking and poking and poking until somebody's pissed off. Then she feels okay, which is like weird. That's weird. You know, because there's motion going on, and maybe she feels safer when there's motion. But she doesn't want to sit there and just like sit with something. She doesn't want to do that. And you know, my dad has a suspicion that she might have been sexually abused. That kind of thing. And if that's the case, and she also has like a fear of, she's claustrophobic. She doesn't like small spaces. Right. So if that's true, then my hypothesis is that maybe what happened is that she was like assaulted in a small space. And that's why she doesn't like small spaces. And it's possible that like she just doesn't like sitting there with her own thoughts. It's hard to do because she starts to think about what happened to her or something. Because it could have happened multiple times. I don't know. So she sort of just gets upset. You know, but what she has to do is sort of like face that reality of what happened. If something happened to her. And it's fucked up and it's sad. It's terrible. You know, but like if something happened. You're gonna have to like sit there and like allow the thoughts to come into your head, like that are gonna be like visceral, like of people doing those things to you, and it's terrible. You know. But like what the human mind does is like if something happens to you like traumatic, like traumatically, like the kind of thing traumatic wise, then it keeps replaying it in your head. And I think what happens is you might be the kind of person who tries to shut it out. And it's like, move on. And that is how she is, actually. So that's coming together too. Where she's like, it's like, you have to move on from the past. Move on. Like that kind of thing. And it's like, well, I guess so. But like, what are you trying to run away from? Because it seems like there's something there that you do not want to face, right? And you have to. There's nothing you can do. Like if it comes up, you have to face it, right? So now I'm saying why I think people think I have problems. Like what I do is that I dive deep into memories, and I dive deep into like situations and energies. So that will cause me to like appear like I act like a child sometimes, but I'm fully conscious. Like I know what I'm doing. I'm watching myself do it. So if you think I have no control, no, I have control. I know what I'm doing, and I can step away from it, but I don't do it on purpose because I'm trying to figure something out, right? But people they're really simple, and then they think, well, you have like a disorder or something. No, I know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure things out. I'm researching, and but it's really silly that people just sort of think like you have this, you have that. It makes no sense. And you could say, well, you're in denial. And it's like, well, I could say you have no control over me, so don't fucking try to do some shit to me. Just what my parents used to try to do. It's crazy. Um, like I'm trying to like figure out my mom, things like that, and maybe that's the time suck, but I feel like it's healing me too, which is funny. But yeah, like whatever issues that she's like pushing away, if she has them, you have to basically like let the thoughts come into your head, and then you're gonna be like, no, like you want to fight them, but it's like you can't fight those thoughts. You have to like basically like sit there and watch the thoughts come into your head, and then you're gonna feel emotions. It's fine. You don't have to suppress them. Like, just don't like kill anybody. Like, don't harm innocent people. At least, but yeah, like they'll come into your head, and you gotta just be like, yeah, that fucking happened, and it was fucking terrible. And you might cry. You'll feel everything. But you have to face it, like whatever it is. You must. It's like you have no choice. Right? You really just have no choice. Like you have to do it. And if you don't, then it keeps ruling you, and everything in your life will be around that, and you'll just keep avoiding it. And it changes what you do, and it changes like what you can do, you can always not do it, but like you're like avoiding these things, right? And it fucks with you. So you have to face it, and like facing, like depending on what it is, facing it might make you realize like, okay, like I have to do something. I can't just like let that person roam free. Like I have to go seek justice, and like that's the only thing that's really gonna fix things or whatever. And that's your task. That's what you have to do. And it reveals itself to you, and you're like, but I don't want to do that. I want to do this, and it's like, well, you could let it go. Do you really want to? Do you really want to do that? Or do you want it to be like, I just wish it never happened so I don't have to think about it? And it's like, well, that's not really how life works. And it sucks. But like, if something unjust happened to you, where like someone like did something fucked up to you, like you gotta fuck them up. This is really like, you just gotta fuck them up, man. And there's just nothing you can do about that, because that is like, you say, well, God will take care of it. It's like, no, that's a cope. God is taking care of it through you. That's what's happening. You are the arbiter of God's justice. I don't agree with this whole thing as well, karma will get that person. It's like, well, karma will get that person if you are doing what God is telling you to do. And what God is telling you to do is like your intuition, your feelings, and everything. You say, well, that's schizophrenic. No, it's not. Everyone has this. It's like divine desire. It's just like a desire, right? Where you feel like something's up, I want to do something about it. And then like people, like, it's interesting because when you do that, when you're on like your path, you get resistance, which is very funny. And like people talk about this as like a classic thing. It's like God is testing you, that kind of thing, which is annoying. It can be annoying, but also like it feels like right. I don't know how to explain it. It's like you just feel like this is what I have to do, and then everyone's gonna be like, no, don't do that. That's really bad. And it's like, why? Why is it bad? It's comfortable for me. I like it. And then it's like they keep testing you about it. It's like, and they give you like one last thing. If you do that, then nothing will ever be the same, or something. I'll do this. You'll never see me again. Some fucking crazy shit. But they try to like fuck with you. They do something, and it's like what your job is to do is to just ignore it. and just be like, yeah, well, okay, well, that sucks, but I'm gonna keep moving forward anyway. And yeah, but yeah, you can't be like, I'm just gonna ignore it and suppress it and ignore it and suppress it and ignore it and suppress it and forever until like that person is dead or something. Then it's like, well, then you were just a coward. It's like, oh, the problem's over. It's like, no, you were just a coward. You cowed out. You pussied out. You ran away. You didn't do anything. Somebody fucked with you so hard and you didn't go find them and rock their fucking shit? Seriously? That is not the way of men. And that's not the way of righteous people. Righteous people get revenge. That's it. And it's very interesting how, my mom has always told me, like, the best revenge is a successful life or something. It's like, yeah, maybe. But if someone fucks you up, you fuck them up right back. I think it's very simple. It's just do it. Sue them, whatever. Whatever you gotta do, whatever makes sense. Whatever is a sensible punishment. And like you have this like crazy thing in society where it's like you're not allowed to do that. It's like, yeah, real convenient for the people who keep doing fucked up shit. Because what you see is that often the people who say that did fucked up shit. And it's like everyone's trying to protect each other, and it's like no protection. No protection. You're done. And of course they will fight it because people don't want to get punished. Who does? A lot of people don't. Especially if they've done fucked up things for a long time, because then it's like a lot of punishment. And they'll fight with you. They'll try to trick you. They'll be like, no, but it's okay. I'm sorry. I'll change. I'll do this. It's like, no, man. Because you just keep doing it. You gotta get punished. It's the classic story, where the villain is cornered and the villain's like, no, wait, I'm sorry, I'll change. And it's like, yeah, you had plenty of chances to do that and you didn't, so. Yeah. And if anyone uses that as a sort of like evidence, see, he's gonna like kill someone, like, you're fucking retarded. Are you fucking kidding me? You're just a disgusting, manipulative asshole if you're like that. And that's that. And it's funny if you're watching the whole Trump administration like conversion like coming in, they're doing that to him. They're doing the same shit. And if you don't believe me, if you're like, no, he's actually evil, and it's like, I really challenge you, go watch Joe Rogan's interview with Trump. Just watch it. And there's some smarminess about the election thing. Okay, but like, I think like we have gone into this thing in society where it's like no one is having a conversation anymore, and instead like you have these people who are trying to figure out the best ways to destabilize another, where it's like a battle, and it's like they will rip you apart, and if your argument is not perfect, they will be like, fuck off and die. If they sense like the tiniest bit of fear or weakness from you, they will be like, fuck off. And it's crazy. I think it's fucking crazy, because it's like, you can like have like RFK Jr. or Trump or Clinton or Tulsi Gabbard or whoever on a fucking stage, and you can just hound them with questions. 13 years ago you said this tweet. What did you mean by that? Do you want to kill people? Like some shit like that. And it's like, dude, okay, like let's focus on the policies. And they just don't do it, because their whole game. And I grew up with somebody like this, my mother. Their whole game is to destabilize you. At least I think my mother was like this, and it's fucking crazy. I still keep doubting it. But with the people like in the news or whatever the fuck, like their whole game is to destabilize you. That's the whole game. Like they don't actually care. Like it's not about like, what are your actual policies? and what's your track record of achievements? Let's hear about them. Like just lay them out for like 30 minutes. And I'm not going to interrupt you. I'm not going to attack you. I'm not going to be like try to point out the flaws and everything. And like they say, like, well, that's your job as a journalist. It's like, honestly, it really isn't. And we've had people in journalism that I think, they're not reporting on the truth anymore. And I think like a real journalist job is to be transparent and to be like a fucking ghost. That's a real journalist. And if otherwise, you are an activist. Seriously. And I don't, like you said, well, it's just people playing devil's advocate or something. So, well, that's, people are sneaking in activism through that. They're sneaking it in because they're trying to figure out ways to make you look bad and that kind of thing. It's, oh, you're a good journalist because he's really good. He's so good. He like attacks you. He's so good. And it's like, no, he attacks you. He's not good. He attacks you. How is that good? How is that good to be attacked? How is that good to attack others? How? Are you debating? Are you running for president? Are you running for office in whatever position that is? If not, then why are you debating them? Why are you doing that? It's like, well, I'm trying to get more information to the American people. It's like, let them say that. Let them say that. Let them talk about what they want to talk about. It's like, well, but if I don't challenge them, it's like, well, then what? What will happen? They will say what they want to say for 30 minutes? But that could be misleading. It's like, dude, your job is to report on the truth and is to report on what they say. Your job is not to be some sort of bulwark against corruption. It really isn't. That's not your job. Or if it is, then the best way to do that is to just simply report on the truth. Very simply. Just talk about what happened. What did people say? What did they say? Not, let them talk for 5 minutes and then 5 minutes interrupt them. No, like you're not on the debate stage. And it's like every fucking journalist wants to be a politician. They want to have their say, and it's like, you're not a politician. You are a journalist. A journalist. What your job is. What a journalist's job is. It is to take a microphone and go like this. That's your job. Hey, person, what do you want to say? Or if you have a specific question, it's like, you said this thing. What did you read? And you fucking sit there. And maybe I'm being a hypocrite or whatever, but like, I don't know. You can ask a specific question, I guess. But it can't be about like, I'm going to try to make you look bad. Like that kind of thing. Like the New York Times interview with J.D. Vance. Fucking crazy. Like that woman was such a bitch. And then she's such a fucking retard. And then, but the thing is that people like that are like, you say that and they're like, yes. You call me a bitch. Yes. I am a bitch. I'm a fucking bitch. I'm an attack dog. And it's like, you're fucking crazy. You are nuts. Like, because it's not about like being good. It's not about like, oh, ooh, they're good. They're good. They're so mean. They're baring their fangs. Like, no, dude. Like, just sit there. Sit there. Hey, J.D. Vance, you're running for president or vice president. You're running for office with Donald Trump as his vice presidential pick. What are your policies? 30 minutes. Go. And you sit there and you shut up. You shut the fuck up. And you let them speak for 30 minutes. You let them say whatever the fuck they want. And this is why I think journalism has gone the fucky way in this country. And this is why you keep seeing the rise of podcasts. You keep seeing the rise of, things like Twitter where like people are talking directly to people. And they're just saying what they want to say, uncensored. Now it's uncensored, or kind of. They keep banning me because I keep saying fucking like, edgy jokes like what is it? That there's that fucking character Sayori from Sayori from I don't know, it's not even real Japanese. From Doki Doki Literature Club, who unfortunately kills herself because they rewrite the game to be really fucked up. Sad. I think it's a sad ending, right? Because Monica deletes herself from the game. Really sad. I think I do this because I'm trying to suppress emotions. Because I almost cried there. I'm trying to like make myself not cry. So annoying. Suppression, man. It's not good. Really not a good thing. But yeah, like, but that character Sayuri from that game, that's his real Japanese name. Sayuri, not Sayori. I don't know, but yeah, she kills herself in the game. Something like really fucked up happens. So sad. But man, I hate that stuff. I hate like sadness. I don't like it. It's really awful. But somebody made like a fan art of her on Twitter, right? Of her, she's like standing on a chair, and she's got like a insect killer spray. And then the caption is like oh no, there's like roaches or something. Like, how do we solve this problem or something like that? And I posted a reply. I'm like, maybe you should kill yourself. You know, because it's funny in context. It's very funny, but then I got auto banned like immediately, and it's like, you cannot say that it's calls for violence. I'm like, dude, and I appealed, and I'm like, it is a joke. It's contextual. You have to understand the full thing. And then they got back to me. They're like, we don't care. We're not making an exception. But they said like it violates the rules or something. So I appealed again. I've been waiting for like 3 days, and I think they're just stonewalling me or something because it's so annoying. It's really upsetting. It's like just why, like, they need to fix that automat because I need to be able to say these jokes. 'Cause some of them are fucking funny. Like, they're funny. But like even with stuff like that where it's like an automat thing, like you can't tell people to kill themselves. And it's like, but I'm not telling someone to kill themselves. It's like saying like, oh, that person is so annoying, I could fucking kill him. I'm gonna like fucking wring their neck or something. It's like, you're not actually gonna do that. It's just an expression, right? But like in this case, it was a contextual joke that was funny for that specific thing, right? Because it was like in reference to a character that kills herself in a game. It's sad. And it's sad, yeah, but like it doesn't matter. It's a joke. Right? But they don't allow for it. And what I really want is, because I get it, it's millions of people posting, and it's like it's probably easier to just auto ban people who say stuff like that, because you know it's harder to like understand the context like in an automated way. If we can figure out in an automated way, fuck you, and make fun of the way I speak. Fuck you. I hate that. There was another way that people would fuck with me, like my sister and my mom. They would just like they would get you all like emotionally hyped up, and then you would just like stumble on your words because they'd force you to like talk fast and shit. And they'd be like, see, you're an idiot, you know. They were fucking crazy, dude. They're just like schoolyard bullies. And they said they're snickering, like they think it's funny, but like honestly they deserve to be smacked. And I did that. You know, when I was 17, I hit my sister real fucking hard. And then also when I was 17, I think I pushed my mom on the floor or something like that, and she freaked out. And it's like, that's what you get, bitch. Fuck you, loser. Like, and people say, oh, but that's terrible. You should never do that. It's like, well, you should not like emotionally harass me for fucking decades. This happened when I was 17, so don't give me shit. But I screamed my fucking head off at my mom the other day because she started to do it again. She started to act like this, and I thought I like had her under control, like where she doesn't fucking do that, but she started to do that. And like what I have to realize is that I don't know. It can't be this thing where like I have to control people. That's nuts. That's what she tries to do to me. I mean, unfairly, for like no reason. Like maybe she thought like, well, he's a boy. I have to like really come down hard on him. And it's like you never had to do that to me, ever. And like I don't know if anything will ever convince her otherwise of that. Because she'll be like, well, but then you got like a nice job and all that different stuff. It's like I got that in spite of all of that. I don't think she like, because she doesn't want to apologize. She doesn't like doing that or whatever. And she has before, but then she goes back to insulting you. And if she finds an opening, she sticks her fucking finger in. She sticks a knife in. That's what she does. And it's like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know. And I guess, like, when I yelled at my mom, I was kind of doing that to my dad. But I guess I felt justified because it was, like, this thing. I was arguing with them because it was, like, I was talking about, again, how, like, my dad just didn't really, like, do much for me growing up and, like, that kind of thing. He went to work and he made money. But, like, I felt like there were things that he could have helped me out with, especially because he worked in entertainment. So I felt like, he could have got me connected to people or whatever the fuck. And he didn't really do that much, and I started to feel like over time that he didn't do that because he felt no confidence in himself. That was the feeling. It was like he had like all these great connections with people and he just like wouldn't ask, because he was afraid to bother them. And it's like, oh, your son is struggling and like this is a hard business to get into, like, can you fucking help him? And it was like I just saw it as like, even if that wasn't realistic, it's like I just saw it as like another, because I think it wasn't, because it's like I see all the time in all this business stuff, it's like you have to ask people. Just ask. Just fucking put yourself out there. Just do it. Because you never know what could happen. And they say it very positively. And like people will message like fucking like Bill Gates and he'll reply to you. Like surprisingly, all this crazy shit. But with my dad, he would get really upset, and it's like because to me it just seemed like there's something more there. Where it's just like, I don't know. He's afraid he's gonna lose his livelihood, which he doesn't have to worry about now because he's retired. But like he's still like he won't do it. Like he's afraid of something. Like he's just, like people are just gonna like hate him or something like that. I don't know. But I regardless, it's like I just saw it as like another symptom of him like just not really interacting with me, not really wanting to do much for me. Just sort of keeping to himself and like, and I just started to get really pissed off. And then my mom was like, oh, we're back to here again, that kind of thing. And like just, defending him for like not doing stuff. And then she said like, you always want handouts or something. And it's like it's like she's just making shit up. I don't know, so I'm making shit up. I don't know. I think about this stuff a lot. But for them, it seems like a defense. Stop asking me for things. And it's like, but you're my father. I'm supposed to ask you for things. Like you're supposed to help me. Stop hounding me. And it's like, dude, you have something to offer me. Give me some of it. Like, straight up. And you say, well, that's selfish. And it's like, a parent's job is to help the child. That's what that's supposed to be. And I think, like, my dad maybe just didn't really understand that. He just wasn't ready for it. He wasn't ready for having kids. And he's just still not. He just like, I'm spinning my fucking wheels on my own. And then like, I do ask people. I ask other people. And it's like, it always comes back to him. And it's like, you have these connections. Can you help me? Or something. Can you do anything? Anything. And he's like, what do you want me to do? And it's like, I don't know. Anything at all. Throw some stuff out there. Let's figure something out. And like, to him, he's just like, that is like the most stressful thing in the world, and I don't even want to think about it. And like, for me, it's not at all. It's just like, it's my life, like it's exciting. why are you so freaked out? But I could tell, like, my dad, he can't really handle stress. Like, anything that stresses him out, like a little bit, freaks him out like crazy. And he just, like I said before, he will drop a piece of paper and he'll be like, fuck, like, it's hard for him, I guess, but it's really not. And so he kind of like freaks out at me because, like, I don't know, maybe I have a high stress tolerance. And, but I'm kind of like that too, where, like, I don't really, like, I don't go too crazy. Like, I used to, like, push myself, like insanely, and, like, I would study for hours and hours and hours. I don't know, I got pretty good at coding, but I felt like it was just, like, giving me an ulcer, so it's just not, it was causing me to, like, not really, do things with love. And when you make art, like, you sort of have to do things with love. It's not about, like, being a workhorse. Because you can say, oh, well, you have a prolific output, and it's like, okay, well, how good is, like, every single individual thing that someone is making? Is it really good? Is it, like, is it quality? Is it, like, amazing shit that's gonna go down in history? Or is it just, like, some stuff, Is it just, like the same as, like, another thing that you just made before, but just slightly different? Or, like, it's cool, but, like, you have, now you have, like, 500 of those things or 100 of those things, and it's like, all right, well, like, what's the point, like, I don't know, is it, like, an iconic thing, but, I think it's more about, like, you relax, and then you try to, like, do things with love, and you try to really, like, hammer it out, and you see, like, well, what is this, like, subtle thing that I'm trying to convey? What, like, I want to create, like, a crystal, as opposed to, like, just take a fucking big old rock and smash it into pieces, and they're done, like, okay. Like, what I want to arrange something nice, and I think my mom doesn't really get that, because for her, she, like, it's just about, like, getting things done. I think my dad understands that, but, like, he's just not doing it. Like, the seed is there, he's just not growing the seed, because my mom is, like, fucking like that. But I don't know. The key is because I keep trying to fight them. I keep trying to say, like, stop doing this to me, stop doing that, stop doing this, stop doing that, and then they're like, don't shine the light on me, and then they just fight with me more and more and more and more, and it's like they just don't stop, they never change. So I just have to not care, just do what I do, and just call their bluff, or go with it, like, whatever they fucking do. I just have to be stalwart and be like, I am just making my art, whether you like it or not. Leave me alone. That's it. And even if they don't come screaming in my ear, or even if they do, I have to just keep doing it anyway. And I think that's the lesson that I keep learning, is that you just gotta do it anyway. You have to just keep going. That's literally it. You just keep going. You don't stop. You just don't fucking stop. And it's like, people will psych you out like crazy. They'll really start to fight you, and, like, really, really try to fuck with you. Because they are brutal. Like, but the good people on this earth, they don't do that. They're just working. They just work. And if you want to get past the shitheads, you just have to work, I think. It's kind of it. And the funny thing is, like, I will say something like that, and my mom will be like, right, yes, exactly. And it's like you are the one that's attacking me, That's you. That's you that I'm talking about. But this is what she does. She gets into your head. She gets it so you're thinking about her all the time, and you're not doing anything with your life. And it's just, and then she's like, say you're not doing anything with your life, because she's getting you to spin your fucking wheels and waste time arguing with her. That's why I fucking hate her. so much because she caused me to waste so much of my time. And then she'll be like, "That's not my fault." And it's like, yeah, it is. It is actually. Because I was your kid and I didn't know any better because I was a kid. And I'm really fucking smart. I'm unbelievably smart. Sorry, just saying it. But there's people smarter than me, but I don't know, I'm pretty smart. But I don't know. He's still fucking wasting my time. Because, he could say, well, you're stupid for falling for it. It's like, well, yeah, maybe I'm stupid for wanting my mother to just love me and be normal. Real stupid, huh? And to not want to be disrespected all the time, because that's what I was. Maybe I just wanted like a normal family, right, where I felt like comfortable and like loved and safe. But no, like you kind of like treat me as a punching bag, treat me as lower than you, that kind of thing. It's like, all right. I thought I had to sort of like come back and like demand respect. But what I'm realizing is that I should have had respect in the first place. I shouldn't have had to demand anything. I didn't say, well, no, respect is earned. It's like, no, you're not getting it. No, authority is earned. Maybe or something. But respect isn't earned. Respect is a given. And respect is not like, oh, I'll do what you say. It's no. It's well, I mean, if you say, well, something's bothering me, and I don't like that, when you do that, and I will like try to not do that anymore. Like, yeah, sure, that makes sense. Um, but respect is just you treat people nicely and with love, And it's like my mom has this thing in her where she thinks that she has to fuck with people. She has to sort of like stick a knife somewhere and like kind of like uproot you. And then she just does whatever. But that's not how you do anything. That's not how you do anything. And like in her mind, it's like, well, I had to like change my husband or something. It's like all of her efforts to change him didn't work. Nothing worked, man. You just made him depressed so that he didn't do anything. And then he's still like trying to do what he wants to do now. Working on movie sets and being an extra and all that stuff. Like, it's just good. Do it. It's hard for me to say that because even if I agree with it, because I just feel like, well, why did you like let me suffer for like fucking 30 years? What the fuck is wrong with you? You should have taken me out of there. You should have like helped me do stuff secretly behind your back, that kind of thing. I was doing some stuff, but like, I think he kind of thought that maybe I was like in this walled garden that she made, where I was like untouchable and I was just like her. That kind of thing. But really, it was just like his fear of like doing anything made me hate him eventually, because he was just so afraid to just open his fucking mouth and take a step that like eventually I was just like, all right, fuck you, like I can't deal with you, and you let me suffer for too long. And that's what being a coward is. It's like you can just wait and wait and wait until the problem is not even relevant anymore, but then like it's too late. You didn't do anything. You didn't step up. It's like what I'm saying is that if people are fucking with you, you gotta get revenge. And I feel like a criminal saying that. It's just fucking crazy because I was raised revenge is bad. And it's like, oh, very convenient for people who do fucked up things and they want you to forget about it. So convenient. And I'd always hear from it, you gotta move on. You gotta move on. Like this fucking like crazy shit. She'd be like that. And it's like, it's almost as if she's like pushing energy away, And it's like, what are you running away from? What are you trying to move on from? What happened? What's going on? And you know, because and then she would always like whenever I would get mad, she would get so crazy with me. Like you are not allowed to be angry. You cannot be angry. That is like a sin. And it's like, but somebody just like pushed me. Like they just like they physically pushed me, and you're telling me I cannot do anything. What's wrong with you? Like what? Like no, I have to learn how to fight, and like I got so fucked up from that shit, so fucked up because it's like if you're a guy, you have to learn how to physically fight. You just have to, you just have to, and it doesn't mean you have to do it all the time, but like you got to be able to throw hands. I think that's very important, and I still don't really know how to do that. So don't come fucking with me, piece of shits. Fucking kill you. Um, you don't know anything about me, but yeah, I remember I took like a Brazilian jiu-jitsu class because I was like afraid to fight, and after like 2 classes, I felt better about myself. You know, it's funny like people talk about, oh, well, it's confidence. It's confidence. Like, well, where does the confidence come from? It comes from knowing that you can kick the shit out of somebody. Like, that's what it is. And you face fears. If you're afraid of throwing hands, and you do that with somebody, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm still alive. You know, and you kind of start to learn how to do it. You know, start to figure it out, which is good. Um, you know, but of course, like my mom wanted me very weak, very weak. Like you're not allowed to do that. And she took me to karate like once or twice, but I quit because I was like 5, and I didn't understand the concept of like some like you're not always gonna enjoy every aspect about learning something. You know, I was 5, but and then I remember she got mad at me, but she let me quit anyway. So it's like, what was the lesson? You know, what is that? And then I don't know. I think like my parents are like, well, it seems like you expect a lot from us. It's like, it's pretty simple. It's just like just do the right thing all the time. I don't understand. You know, sometimes maybe it gets difficult, but like, I don't know, dude. Like, if you think I should continue karate, then just like be like you're not quitting, and you're going back next week whether you like it or not. And you do that. You enforce that early enough so that it doesn't become a thing. It doesn't become a monster that grows. And I don't understand. It's like I think they wanted to complain too, so they would like let things happen, and they would like go up to other people and they'd be like, see how terrible my son is. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what are you doing? What is up with that? That you're like, see, and it's like why don't you just fix the problem? Because the whole thing is like they wanted to like shame me in front of other people. Dude, I guess I was abused. I guess that's what that is. It's a weird psychological abuse, and it wasn't like I wasn't hit. I remember my mom like washed my mouth out with soap once. I let her do it. It was weird because I was like, I wanted to show people too, like see how terrible my mom is, that kind of thing. So I guess I got it from them or something. But like, you know, um, it's just so weird. It's like if you just think like, okay, like you should just. It's weird to me that like, okay, you have a toddler, right? Like to get back to the karate thing. It's like you know that toddlers act like that. Like, don't you know that? Like you weren't aware that was going to happen. That like kids are going to do like funny things. They're going to try to get out of work. They're going to try to convince you of things, and it's like they didn't know that. That's weird. That was weird. You know. Now I feel bad if they really didn't know, because maybe they didn't. Then I feel bad for tricking them. But like, I don't know, dude. Because I remember I had a tendency to like lie and be like, oh, I didn't know that. You know, bullshit, fucking bullshit. Let's just try to trick people. You know, I knew about things and whatever, but it's like it doesn't mean I'm like a bad kid. You know, it's just like, yeah. And it's funny because like my dad would always used to say like you can tell a lot about um, a kid's parents by how the kid behaves. And I was like fucking crazy. I would like act out in school and shit, and like curse people out, like. And then like they would say like, what's wrong with you? And it's like, but I would see them like fucking argue with each other and do all this stupid shit, and it's like, where was that wisdom? Why didn't you apply that to yourself? Like, oh, you can tell a lot about the kid's parents by how a kid behaves. Oh, my kid is acting fucking crazy. What do I do? It's like, oh, maybe it's me. Oh my gosh, am I doing something to him? What am I doing? And it's like just absolutely crazy, because the amount of like stuff that I think about as a person, because I don't want that stuff to continue. Like, you know, I've thought for a while like I want kids. Um, I'm starting to doubt it now. I'm getting older, um, but I don't know. I mean, when I'm like 35, I'd have to meet a woman to do that with. But I want to achieve my goals first, because I don't want to have a repeat of my parents' whole thing. I don't want to do that. I go fucking nuts. I wouldn't be able to do that. Wow, like the amount of times I think about this, like I have done so much for this stuff that like I don't understand. It's like they didn't go into parenthood with like any philosophies at all. Just like whatever. And then they just like fuck me up so hard. They continued, like they were just being passed the ball all the time. They would just throw it on the ground. No, no, no. And then they'd be like, what happened to you? And it's like, you happened to me. And like I kept asking you for things. Like, oh geez, seems like you're asking for things all the time. It's like, yeah, because I'm a fucking child. I'm a kid. Like, why wouldn't I be asking for things? Are you fucking retarded? I can't do anything on my own. What do you think I can do? You won't let me do anything on my own. So of course I have to come to you for fucking everything. And then I would come to my mom, and like her favorite thing was to be like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, because she just enjoyed the power. She loved power. She loved it. And now that I'm learning more about like narcissism, they say things like the people who have that. It's possible that she does. I'm still kind of like not sure, because I'm not an expert or whatever. But I don't know if I'm just like making shit up. If I have it, I think I had tendencies of it. And I said on a previous stream, like I dated a girl, and I was kind of acting like that. I was starting to sort of replay some of those things, and it's not that I wasn't aware of it. Like I think in some cases I wasn't, but I think I remember saying to her, like, I remember the experience was actually like, I didn't fully know, because in my head it's like, and this is also because of things that I read online too. Where like I just like pick up artist stuff, and like all this like red pill stuff and all this different shit. And I was reading it before it turned into like red pill, like where it was just like talking about like psychological things, here's how to get a woman turned on, that kind of thing. And I was like doing that on people. I would do that a little bit on this girl too, and I didn't see it as like manipulation. It is a form of manipulation, but I didn't see it as like, I'm like trying to hurt you. Like, because of how like my really like poor understanding of women, what I thought was like I had to like basically manipulate people and manipulate girls to like get them to like me, otherwise they will not like you. It's just like impossible. Like, they literally don't care about you at all, ever, in any situation. If you are genuine or honest, you can't be like that, because they just won't be turned on. So I was like, that was like my understanding. So I was like, okay, I have to like do all this shit, or else she's not gonna like me anymore. And it wasn't like, I'm trying to like be evil. I would do some things like, like make fun of her, and like kind of like pull back, and like these kinds of things, because I thought I had to. And I'm not trying to like absolve myself of that, but like it's like I just got faulty information, and I think like there is an aspect where maybe it does like kind of work, but like I like really tried to figure it out. I was like, oh really, it's like, girls seem to respond to me better when I'm not like talking to them all the time, and I'm spending half of my time like doing work away from them or something. And that makes sense. That's a positive thing, because it's like then my life is like more productive and like all that kind of shit, and I'm getting work done, doing some cool things, and then women are like, "Hi, I miss you. What's going on?" And I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" So that's like a manipulation, but it's not like oh, I'm gonna make you feel like you need me, like a fucked up way. But I would do like a little bit of that too, and I'm not like happy about it, but now I have like an honesty policy. Or like I just honesty, just whatever the fuck I'm thinking, I'm just gonna say it. That doesn't mean like everything I say is good, and I will try to apologize, but because now I realize like you can't, like if someone gets along with you and you have chemistry, like I don't think you're not gonna have to do anything really. You just relax, just say what you want to say what's in your mind. Don't think like 20 steps ahead, because that's how I was. I was always thinking like 50 billion steps ahead all the time. And that's like I don't know, maybe sometimes it's good, but like it just feels like evil. It doesn't really feel that good. You can't relax now in the moment, and a lot of seduction or like romance or whatever, it's all in the moment. It's like, can you just like be happy now, like right now? But I was always like planning, you know. Um, but yeah, like that's how that is. I don't know. Yeah, I was talking about stuff, and like I still feel bad about screaming at my mom. I still do, because like I said, I still have good memories of her. But it's like I just feel like she's like this like toxic tendril in my stomach, and then like it's so ridiculous because it's this whole thing where she's like convinced that I'm like bipolar or something, but like for me, it feels like I am like just getting out emotion that needs to get out. But she tries to, oh, why are you mad at me? And it's like, you know why I'm mad at you. Like, you're fully aware. And like her whole thing is like, whenever you get to anything where it's like you are expressing anger yourself, she's like, like she just completely flips it around on you like 10 times as hard. Like, how dare you get angry at me? And it's like, why wouldn't I be? Like, I'm another person in life. I'm not like like a sheet of paper. Like, I'm a person with my own feelings. And I think maybe for her, like, she thinks that maybe she thinks that I'm going to abuse her, because maybe she was abused like this, and she's like, yeah, because it happened to me too. I mean, I was abused by her, and then my sister, and I was made to feel like I'm this like nothing, that I'm just a punching bag for everybody. And then it's like when I like push back against people, they like scramble, and then they try to make it seem like I'm the problem. That always happened in school. Like, I'd have bullies like really fuck with me, and then when I did anything back to them, I would get sent to the principal's office. It was insane. Like, I was expected to just like take it. That's not you, Sam. And it's like, what do you mean that's not me? I'm just getting revenge. What's wrong with revenge? People say, oh, revenge is bad, and it's like, why? Why is it bad? Like, people can't really explain it. It's like, oh, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. It's like, no, it balances out the scales. Like, that's what I think. And because It's not like an eye for an eye, then an eye for an eye, then an eye for an eye. No, it's just an eye for an eye. Now we're even. Don't fuck with me ever again. And that's why I don't believe in the whole, like, just people can just fuck with you and just don't do anything. It's like, and just ignore them, because that's what they say about like bullies or something. Just ignore them. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You have to fuck with them. Like, the second a bully like does anything to you, you just knock them the fuck out, and you beat the shit out of them, like, hard, so they never do it again. And that is defending yourself. And I'm tired of people saying, like, no, that's not good. That's toxic. That's toxic masculinity. People say that shit anymore. So happy if they don't. Or they say, like, no, but violence is always wrong. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not always wrong. If someone hits you, you hit them back. That's the way of men, and like, we've had this, like, feminized society where it's like, you can't do that. And it's like, well, yeah, watch me, motherfucker. And I hate how we've, like, made that shit illegal. I don't think that's a good thing, because you said, well, then everyone's just going to be punching each other. It's like, no, they won't. Sometimes some asshole will punch someone else, and then you punch him back, and you resolve the fight. Like, women don't understand this. They're like, how can you be, like, actually physically fighting with each other and then have things resolved at the end? How? What the fuck? Because for women, that's like, they just don't get it. This is how men are. Because it's a physical competition. And all the anger goes out. It's all gone. That's it. But I think women just did not evolve for this. Men did, though. So I think that in order to suppress men in such a way is fucking crazy. It's just nuts. And it's causing all of these issues where, like, men feel feminized, men feel powerless, they feel weak. Women don't even like them. Women are, like, starting to, like, fucking date each other, like, all this different shit. They're not attracted to the men. And the men are fucking confused, like, what the fuck is going on? Why is no one mating with me? It's because we keep taking away the masculinity from the man, and it's not right. And I'm not saying you have to go full back to, like, people killing each other in the streets. It's not what I'm saying. I don't think it would end up there. It's just, honor is a thing. It's totally a thing. And it's so interesting that, like, my mom is basically this person that's like, honor is not allowed. And then, of course, then she just fucks with you all the time. Makes perfect sense. It's perfect for her, because she gets to just do whatever. And it's like, oh, well, you can't do anything to me. No, I'm just a girl. You can't hurt me, motherfucker. And it's like, that's what she does, because she enjoys it. And I think, like, the only thing that she really needed was, like, someone to, like, just tell her to back the fuck off. And she really needs a smack, but she's too old. She's too old for that shit. So, and it's not misogynistic. It's really not. That's just another way to manipulate people with words. That's it. It's like, you did something bad. You need a punishment. That's it. That's it. You're done. Get over it. Accept the pain. If you don't want it to happen again, don't do it again. That's it. Men are the enforcers. That's it. I think that might be the healthiest dynamic. Men enforce. I keep talking about, like, what is the essence of, like, man and woman. Women are chaos, men are order. That's it. Everything comes from women, and men give it form. That's it. And maybe, like, women are like, they get annoyed because they feel, like, oppressed by it. But it's like, we are an opposing force. We have to oppose each other, and then we come together and we fuck, and we create life. That's the whole point. It's a literal yin yang, dude. That's literally what it is. And you can't have this thing where there is, like, no yin or yang. Yang is men, I think, where there's no yang at all. And the women have this fantasy of, like, well, what if there's only yin? or something. And maybe it's like a spiritual rebalancing because like throughout history maybe there's too much yang, maybe. But I don't know. So maybe what women like spiritual women want is like they want a time where it's mostly yin, and that's what they've been wanting. But I think what's been happening is that it's things are getting out of order, which makes sense. Things are getting too chaotic, which makes sense. It's too crazy. We need some order. We need some top down. We need it because you're going too crazy. We need to put the lid on you a little bit. You know. And then maybe the opposite is when it gets too much like that. Then it's like, you know, there's no color anymore. You know, and life becomes soul sucking and depressive and all this different shit. And then people want to explode in some color. They want a little bit of chaos. You know, but like I said, I think right now, like in America, there's too much yin, too much. You know, like we need to go. We gotta do it a little bit. It just has to happen. And you know, because there needs to be a balance. There has to be a balance. You know, it can't be too much, whatever. Gotta be a balance, man. You cannot just fucking completely steamroll somebody. And be like, fuck you, I'm talking. It's like, no. Absolutely not. Go into timeout. Go into fucking timeout. And if you don't go in there, I'm going to put you in chains and keep you there. Until you calm the fuck down and realize what you did was wrong. And until you change. That's it. Plain and simple, man. So simple. I don't know. I'm gonna go make some coffee. So, see you later. Thanks for watching.